Would it be a revelation to you if you learned that the circumstances of your birth usually determines your life's trajectory in the UK? The concept of an equal society, where the child of a cleaner has the same opportunities as the child of a millionaire, is often promoted in the UK. However, reality paints a different picture where the wealth gap is not only present but growing. Drawing from a wellspring of data from the Office for National Statistics, we can trace the unsettling trend of wealth inequality in the UK over the last 30 years. Picture the early 1900s, a time when wealth was highly concentrated, with the richest 10% holding an astounding 93% of the wealth, while the poorest half of the population shared a meager 0.5%. Fast forward to 1940, when there was a slight redistribution of wealth, with the top 10% share reducing to nearly 84%, and the bottom half's share inching up to just over 2%. The march towards equality continued, and by 1970, the wealthiest 10% owned nearly 65% of the wealth, while the bottom half held around 5%. The era of the 1990s witnessed the most equitable distribution, with the top 10% share at its lowest, about 46%, and the bottom half share at its peak, just over 6%. However, the 1990s marked a turning point. The trend reversed and wealth inequality began to rise. By 2020, the wealthiest 10% share had ballooned to almost 57%, a significant increase from the 46% of 1990. The bottom half of the population, on the other hand, saw their share of wealth shrink from just over 6% to less than 5%. These figures underscore a growing inequality, with wealth increasingly concentrated at the top, reversing the gains of the previous decades. It's a portrait of a society where the socio-economic divide is widening, deepening the gulf between the wealthy and the poor. The relative silence in the face of this growing wealth disparity in the UK might hint at a deeply ingrained attitude. As Richard Rose noted, in no society is social equality fully achieved. In England, it is often not even pursued as a goal. This could mirror a Thatcherite conviction in meritocracy, where the affluent are assumed to be inherently superior. There might also be a cultural yearning for Britishness, where an elite class is entwined with national identity and heritage, maintaining the status quo. This complex network of resignation, acceptance of social hierarchies, and respect for conventional norms continues to mold the collective psyche around wealth and class in the UK. Find out why the idea that some people are better than others is so popular in the UK, and how it breeds growing inequality and delusional policy, by visiting the Ideas That Broke Britain Substack today.